I'm Catherine Wilkins. It's good to meet you. Fractology is all about your journey and helping you transform your patterns. It's good to meet you, and I just wanted to let you know just how much being able to develop this work has been able to help me transform my life and the patterns that I have had to live with. One of the major patterns that I had when I was very young is that I often seemed to be so confused. I would do what people told me seemed to be the way to do things. They told me to do this or that, and I followed their instructions because I thought, of course, they knew what they were doing, their lives seemed to be working for them, but they just didn't seem to work for me. Of course, it took me many years to work out that my patterns are often unique to me. What works for me doesn't necessarily work for other people, or vice versa. And when I went to university, it sort of became even more complicated because my first degree was in veterinary medicine, and that's a very science kind of training, and that meant that my left brain had all of these answers, but then my right brain, my intuition, which was quite active, that was giving me different answers, and often they appeared to be very contradictory, and yet if I followed one or the other, they both worked, but in very different ways, which was just driving me crazy. I started to feel like there was two Catherines in the one body, and they were constantly arguing with each other. So I needed to find a way that I could get both sides of me to talk together. And fortunately, partly because my dad's a mathematician, I learnt to be able to realise that the way to get both of these sides to talk together was to work with the underlying patterns. Now, the primary pattern is something called a fractal, which if you look at some of my blog posts and videos, you can understand what that is. But the thing is that the patterns, when we follow the patterns that are unique to us, and when I began to follow the patterns that were unique to me, it made it so much easier, because then I could tell which things were going to work for me and which weren't, and also how to align both sides of who I am. So it was really understanding the patterns that were running through my life that enabled me to transform my life and get things to really start to work for me in such a way that I really started to feel so much more fulfillment and ease and grace in my own life. So it didn't take me long to realise that what I was working with, they didn't just work for me, it worked for other people too. And so then, of course, what I've done since then, I've developed a system and I've started to teach other people, and that's enabled me to do so much and meet so many great people, including you today. So hi, and it's good to meet you.